options strategist at Pilot AI. How are you approaching your example trade for GM today, Tim? Good morning.
Sam, and really this was a report that really was outstanding across the board. Top and bottom line, not only beats, big beats, guidance raised outstandingly well. The only negative, as you were talking with Molly, was, kind of the EV story, but I think that's affecting almost every automaker here going forward. But I think for the short term, the floor is probably in General Motors, given the earnings we saw and the guidance. So I'm not going to be rushing to be a buyer up here, given the stock just broke out to past that 2021 high at around 65, but I would be a buyer certainly on any meaningful dip here. So I like selling out of the money put spreads going forward on GM, simply given that the stock was always cheap after the earnings is even cheaper here, even after the rally. So I just like to position to be a buyer on a dip, get paid to be waiting for that pullback here. I think the market may have a pullback, which will bring down GM as well. So I'm just selling the November 57.5 50 put spread. Earlier today, trading about 40 cents. So like that return on risk, have plenty of downside cushion. So cautiously bullish, I guess, is my viewpoint on GM here.
Okay, and it's interesting, obviously, while GM is up almost 15% today, I mean, Tesla is lower by about 0.6 ahead of its key earnings report out tomorrow. So that's a certainly interesting takeaway. What are your overall thoughts on the market action today, Tim?
Yeah, the action today, certainly we're seeing some of the risk off and some of the hottest names previously, gold getting walloped today finally. So we'll see what happens. I think next week will actually be the key for the market. We get some earnings this week. We got, Netflix, Tesla, as you talked about, with earnings come out over the next couple of days. But next week we have the Fed meeting and two of the biggest stocks, Apple and Microsoft, reporting. And interesting that, the Mag 6, the Mag 7, the Mag 5 is really the Mag 3 now, with NVIDIA, Apple, which is now the second biggest market cap stock in the indices, and Microsoft really comprising such a huge outweight here. So I think as those three stocks go, simply because of their weighting, so goes the market. So next week we'll tell the story. How do, kind of earnings look going forward is the key, given those valuations these stocks are trading at currently.
Great stuff. Tim Bigham, thank you so much. I always appreciate your insights. That is Tim, options strategist at Pilot AI, joining me there.